You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Movsar Evloev is going to send Aljamain Sterling to the early prelims in their fight this weekend at UFC 310. Sean O'Malley sent Aljamain Sterling to the prelims, but Evloev is going to finish the job and put him into the early prelims. I really do think that Evloev has Aljamain Sterling's number in this one. Horrible matchup for Aljamain Sterling. In order for him to be successful, he has to be the better grappler in his fights. He has to be able to throw with a takedown to set up his punches. He has to keep the fighters guessing. In this fight with Evloev, Evloev is going to be, if not as good, I think he will be the better grappler in this one, as well as showing market improvements in his striking, as we saw in his last fight with Arnold Allen, where he was hurting Arnold Allen, keeping him honest on the feet, shooting his takedowns, really mixing it up. He's going to be the bigger guy. Aljamain Sterling moving up in weight. Was the former champ at 135, moving up now to 145. He's looked really good. Looks like he's really filling into the weight class, but Evloev has always been a 145er. He's not somebody who's, you know, an undersized 135er looking to put on a little bit of weight, or, you know, stop cutting as much weight to make it up to 145. So I think Movsar Evloev, I think he's going to be the better striker in this. I think he's going to be defending anything that Aljamain tries to do in terms of takedowns or grappling, and I think he's going to be tagging him on the feet, hurting him. Not sure. I don't think he's going to put him away. I don't think he's going to finish him, sub him, TKO him by any means, but I do think that he's going to control the fight for the majority of the rounds. If he wants to keep it on the feet, he'll keep it on the feet. If he wants to shoot takedowns, I think he'll get a few of them. Maybe he doesn't have as much success as he used to having with his takedowns, but I do think he'll find success. I do think that he'll be the bigger guy, the stronger guy, landing the bigger punches. So never been very high on Aljamain Sterling. Always felt like he was kind of a fluky fighter. Had a lot of things go his way in terms of matchups and calls and fights, which I'll get into here. Started out his career, beat some good guys, honestly. Renan Barao, that was back when Renan Barao was on his decline, but knocked out by Marlon Moraes, not a good look. Beats Brett Johns, Cody Stamen, Jimmy Rivera, Pedro Munoz. Like, all these guys are, you know, they're good guys in the UFC. They're never going to be top tier champions by any means, but sub Corey Sandhagen. We know how good Corey Sandhagen is, but I feel like he just kind of caught Corey sleeping in that fight. So Petr Yan was getting beat up by Petr Yan, took that illegal knee, took the win after that, put on a very good performance there in that fight. It's crazy how somebody can get kicked in the face, kneed in the face, and they'll act like nothing happens, but God forbid they take a tiny little knee while they're on the ground, and now all of a sudden they don't know their first name. Crazy, I get it. Fights Petr Yan again, wins a split decision, fights TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw tore his shoulder out of the socket. They're trying to put it back in the middle of the fight, can't do it. He ends up TKOing a one-armed man. Congratulations. Henry Cejudo, undersized guy, out of his prime, another one of those guys that sat out his entire prime, came back, barely won the decision, barely squeaked one out over Henry Cejudo, who's like 5'4", maybe. Sean O'Malley, couldn't get Sean O'Malley down. Sean O'Malley sparks him in the second round. Some people say it's early stoppage. I don't think it was. I think Sean would have just put even more punishment on him. And then most recently beat a Calvin Kattar who looked like he didn't want to be there. Calvin Kattar had been out for 2 years, looked gun shy, just didn't look like his self in that one. So I just don't put a lot of stock in Aljamain Sterling. I feel like he's a one-trick pony. Very good wrestler, very good grappler, but in terms of striking, he just doesn't have it. And I feel like that Movsar Evloev is going to be able to nullify all of his grappling and then just beat him up on the feet. And like I said, take him down if he wants to. Movsar Evloev, like I already said, looked really good against Arnold Allen. Just beat him by decision, beating him on the feet, cut him open, controlled him on the ground when he needed to. Diego Lopez, that was an eye-opening one for Diego Lopez because nobody really knew who he was, and he performed very well against Evloev. I was very surprised in that one, and we all know how great Diego Lopez is. So Dan Ige, he beat Hakeem Dawodu, Nick Lentz, Mike Grundy, like not the greatest competition, but he is dominating these guys for the most part. He is a decision machine. Don't know, the last time he had a finish was back in 2018. So it's been over 6 years since this guy's had a decision. So like I said, I don't think he's going to finish Aljamain Sterling. I do think that he's the better fighter all around. Much younger guy, 18-0, only 30, just entering his prime. 5'7", 72.5 reach. Aljamain Sterling, 5'7", 71-inch reach. So he's gonna have an 1.5 inch reach advantage. He's gonna be 5 years younger, bigger dude, used to the weight class, used to moving around, bigger guys, 145-pound guys his entire career. So very confident that Evloev gets this one done by decision. Thanks, guys.